Hey guys, and welcome to Quality Shot. Novak Djokovic won his appeal case in trial in court. The judge ruled to release him immediately from his detention hotel, and it means that his appeal against his visa cancellation was overturned as well. So, really good news if you're a Novak fan. I think good news generally if you're a tennis fan in terms of wanting to see him at the Australian Open and see the best players on show. And yeah, this is just going to be a very quick video summarizing what's happened and also what next. Is he going to play in the Australian Open, for example? Can he be stopped from playing in it still after that decision? But before we get into that, first of all, thank you very much to everyone who joined the live stream of the trial. It wasn't the most entertaining watch, the trial that is, but you guys made it worthwhile. It was definitely entertaining with you guys in the chat, so thank you. I do appreciate it, and to all the new people and new faces on the stream as well. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't already, and click the notification bell as well to get alerted to all the new videos, which we will be doing. We will be doing the Australian Open in a lot of detail, so do get involved. Right, so Novak Djokovic being released, he's also released a picture on Instagram with himself and his coaching team training in Melbourne, so he's been allowed to train. Obviously, he will go into the competition a little bit underprepared, to say the least. It looks like he will be playing in it. In terms of what he said he's focused on playing the Australian Open next week after winning the court battle that overturned his visa cancellation. He practiced in Melbourne within hours of leaving the immigration detention centre or hotel, sorry. He tweeted, despite all that has happened, I want to stay and try to compete in the Australian Open. I remain focused on that. I flew here to play at one of the most important events we have in front of the amazing fans. Yeah, so training on Rod Laver Arena court, obviously with his coach Goran Ivanisevic. He's won there 9 times. We all know that. So looking to win his 10th and also a record breaking 21st Grand Slam. Obviously, Nadal's going to be there as well, but he goes into it the favorite, no doubt. Even undercooked, I think he'll go into the favorite for sure. It begins obviously in just a week, so it's the 10th of January at this recording. So yeah, there's a lot on the line for sure, but good to see him in decent spirits. And to be fair play to him for not moaning about it because he could have. In the past, he has come up with some interesting comments, I think, to be fair, as have all tennis players. They're not media trained in the way that, other people might be in other professions. So sometimes they just say things and they maybe don't even realize how it can be perceived as well. But for him, right, I mean, he didn't say anything bad at all, to be fair. But his mum says, Djokovic's mum said, overturning the decision to revoke his visa was the biggest victory of her son's career. I don't think that's quite true, but it's up to her, to be fair. She also claimed he had been subject to torture and harassment while staying in an immigration hotel where refugees and asylum seekers have long complained of poor conditions. I think that's a little over the top. However, I do think the way that he was treated was bad, but it's not torture. I mean, let's kind of take it down a notch. Also, the family said was pleased that justice has prevailed, which is fair enough. That's his brother, George, I want to say. Might have butchered his name. But yeah, anyway, so the brother said Novak is out there to set another record. He is an athlete and the best tennis player in the world of all times, he added. Novak has always advocated freedom of choice, nothing more. The judge, Anthony Kelly, who a lot of you will now be familiar with, released Djokovic after acknowledging in court that he was not given enough time to respond following the notification to cancel his visa. It's still not guaranteed that he'll be able to step onto the court next week because the immigration minister, Alex Hawke, is still considering whether to revoke the visa that Djokovic has. The MP is able to act using apparently some type of discretionary powers granted to him by Australia's Migration Act. The spokesman of Mr Hawke actually says it's an ongoing process. So it's up in the air whether he's going to play in the Australian Open depending on that decision. Because if they then revoke his visa, he's not going to have enough time to, I think, appeal and then play in it. So, yeah, I mean, a lot rides on Alex Hawke, the immigration minister, for sure. But apparently an announcement is expected to be made on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So very interesting. Nadal, who is tied on 20 majors, says, called the build-up to the tournament as a circus. But he also came out and said, so obviously there was a little bit of I think not tension, but he said, look, he's dealing with the consequences. He could have been double vaccinated, but he also did say I've got some type of sympathy for him. But since then and after the verdict, he said justice has spoken and has said that he has a right to participate in the Australian Open. I think it is the fairest decision. So it's fair enough. But yeah, Djokovic can't relax because we have to see what happens. Obviously, the judge, one of the most famous lines of the trial, if it is going to become a famous trial in future, was the judge asking what else could he possibly have done. After the Australian Border Force suggested Djokovic brought little evidence into the country to support his medical exemption, but according to the lawyers in the trial, he provided everything that was asked of him. So it's very interesting, but let's see how it goes. Also, Djokovic's family refused to answer questions on pictures of him, excuse me, outside without a mask, posing for photographs with children at a prize giving day, the day after his December positive PCR test was confirmed on the 16th of December. On the 17th, apparently, he was photographed. I think it's worth taking it with a pinch of salt that potentially those pictures could have been taken beforehand and then posted on that date, like I said on the stream. But I'm sure they'll look into it. But it's very, very interesting. Obviously, some players like Kyrgios, Nadal, Isner, I mean, pretty much all players have come out and support to at least say whether they believe that everyone should be double vaccinated or not is irrelevant. It's just they think that the way he was treated wasn't right in the way that they've handled the situation anyways. Right, that's all from me. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please remember to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Of course, do keep an eye out for all the videos that we will be doing. And it's going to be a fantastic tournament. Hopefully, Novak is there. If not, it'll still be a great tournament, just obviously without the marquee player in the world right now in Novak Djokovic. Rafa Nadal, everyone knows I'm I'm a fan of his. So interesting to see how he does. But let's see. We will be doing an Australian Open preview, so do keep an eye out for that. But until then, thank you very much. Stay safe and well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.